Hello and welcome to 15 Minute Game. My name is Tony and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more videos. Hello fellow citizens and welcome to the show. This is Inside Star Citizen. This week they have a look at the ROC vehicle and explosions. There's no sprint report this time, which made me a little bit sad. I like the sprint report. So anyway, breaking down 10 minutes into about a minute. So basically they wanted to add different careers into the verse outside of combat. So the ROC is one of many ground-based professions they want people to have and vehicles that are coming to the game. They didn't mention any others that would be coming in the future or what these might entail. I was trying to think, like, I can see mining. There's obviously already, like, missiles and stuff and exploring. So I was a bit like, I don't know what else you could really have on the ground. What do you think of? If you can think of anything, put in the comments below. The biggest challenge was making sure it could fit into other ships. In the video, you can see it fits in the back of a Cutlass Black fine. So I guess it would fit in a couple of other ships if that's the case. The mining laser was probably one of the most tricky things. So they give it an articulated arm and then you can gimbal it around to give you the biggest reach in loads of different directions. Because at first it was just going to be like the mining head that was gimbaled, but they changed that to the full arm. Next up, they chatted what happens once you break the ROC. How do you get the crystals out of it? First off, they want you to get out and pick them all up by hand. I am very glad they give up that idea. That sounds so tedious. The initial idea was then to get a giant vacuum cleaner on the front of it and you just go around sucking all the crystals up. Again, they went, that idea is probably not the best. So what they did is they add something called a gathering beam, which is basically a tractor beam that attaches to the mining head. And what that'll do is you point it to where the crystals are and it'll suck it up into your infantry. They point out, unfortunately, the tractor beam will not work on players. They didn't say if it will work on anything else, but it won't work on players. And overall, they say the ROC is going to be fun to drive. It's kind of in between a rover and a cyclone. So it's quite fun to drive, quite maneuverable, but it's not fast, it's not slow. It's got a good turn circuit, it hasn't got the best, it hasn't got the worst. So you can see it's in the middle to drive around in. And yeah, that was it on the ROC. So moving on to the Big Bang and explosions.
ROC makes its arrival in the upcoming Alpha 3.10, and it's the first step in bringing more profession-based ground vehicles to the Star Citizen persistent universe. Up next, explosions. Players got their first chance to see the Idris capital ship and its destruction up close and in action live in the recently completed Fleet Week event. Let's take a look now at the team's work bringing that destruction to life. Or death.
Thank you, Jared, for that nice little introduction to explosions. Right, so they go on about, they want to tell a story through explosions, so they go on about how that all works and comes together. I'd never thought of it like that before, but I suppose it's very, very true. What the explosion does is gives you a sense of accomplishment when you see it, so you know if you're dogfighting, really you want that big end result of an explosion. And then they go into detail of how they get to where they do with explosions. So it starts with reference gathering, so you're kind of like, right, okay, where's the fuel source, where's the debris, where's the engines, where's this, where's that, and have a look and go, right, we need an explosion there, and there. And obviously the core explosion will be from the fuel source, so wherever the fuel source is in the ship, that should explode, and then you get the debris and the shock wave and everything like that. It's a lot more than I ever thought, really. I didn't really think about it when you look at it like that. Unfortunately, in Star Citizen, some of the explosions are pretty weak. Like, you'll blow up a Carrack and it'll just go, boop. The same as, say, if you blow up like a gladiator or something, like the size difference doesn't seem to really matter too much. But with the fleet carriers and stuff coming up, it does look like this might improve a little bit. But they did discuss they don't want the explosions to kill frame rate, which I think is why they're not as big as maybe what they could be, because, you know, if 5 or 6 are going off at once, it would probably kill the game. So then they move on to mood boards, which show how the explosion will work in the chain of events. So at 1 second, at 2 seconds, at 3 seconds. They will then move to production and into the engine. And that's when they look at how the ship breaks apart, so they can see where the explosion needs to be. So if you shoot an engine off, there's obviously going to be an explosion where that engine was. But if you just shoot a wingtip off, or, you know, like some auxiliary part of the wing or something, it doesn't need to have an explosion because there's nothing there to explode. So you'll just get the debris. So that's basically what they kind of covered there. And that was really it. I mean, it was interesting, I guess. But never mind. I like the sprint report better because you get to see loads of new cool stuff. But yes, that was it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.